We're back again. We're cooking ribs today. We're doing two different styles of ribs. We're going to cook them totally different ways. You don't have to have a hot summer July to have a barbecue. It's the middle of winter right now. As you can see out our window, it's nice and cold, about 1.5 feet of snow. And we're going to show you how to make some ribs where you can do it right in your kitchen. You don't necessarily have to go out to your grill. You can do them this way.
Because we ain't down south.
No, we ain't down south. That is for sure. We have spare ribs. These are the spare ribs that come off the full side of the pig, up by the spine. These are country style ribs, which are actually ribs that are sliced. The bone, these little bones in here, are shoulder blade. These are actually from the shoulder of the pig, like cut up here, which would be a very naturally tough piece of meat.
So the Boston butt.
The Boston butt. Or
we already did a Boston butt.
Yes, it's like how you make pork butt. So this is the country style ribs. Lots of meat on them though, if you know how to cook them. You can't just cook them on a grill and eat them, they'll be way too tough. With this rib, we're gonna do this in the oven, the spare ribs, and we're gonna do the country style ribs in a crock pot. And this rib would have had the tips cut off, and these would have been your baby back ribs. So our first step is, if you have to take off this thin membrane that's on the bottom of the ribs, and you can use a towel or rag. You can use your fingers too if you don't want to, but it's called elastin. It's silver skin. Can make the ribs a little tougher. And you want to pull these off. Sometimes you can take a knife and start it, get a spot down the rib where you can get it going. Come and cast away with me. Now we have that tough membrane removed from the back of the ribs. It'll make them a lot more tender to eat. First thing we're going to do with both style ribs is we have my homemade barbecue spice mix. You can use any barbecue rub that you like. And we're going to liberally season both of these types of ribs on both sides. So now we're going to add onions to our crock pot. We have a liner in here.
You want them broke up or?
No, just leave them whole. That kind of makes a nice little, they'll get caramelized and make a nice little base. And then you can lay the seasoned country style ribs in on top of the onions. And this is 1.5 cups of barbecue sauce mixed with 1/2 cup of water or beer. We use beer. And we're just going to pour that right over top of them. I'm going to clamp the lid tight on it, turn it on high, and now we're going to let that go for 3 to 4 hours, probably closer to 3.5, 4 hours, until those ribs are just fork tender, falling off the bone. So they'll be absolutely delicious. For our spare ribs, Dave's going to take them and just lay them meat side down, bone side up, right on top of this foil in the inside. And then we'll take 2 more sheets of foil, and we're going to start to just wrap it up, kind of like a package. Get it nice and tight, a nice tight seal. And we get the ingredients ready for the marinade. I wrote the recipe down so we can marinate. The first thing we need is 1 cup of a lager beer.
Oh, that's mine.
Lager.
That's mine.
That's yours. Jeez. And 1 cup is 8 ounces, and that would be a cup. A beer is 12 ounces, so we're going to use about 2/3, or exactly 2/3 of that beer.
Exactly.
And then we need. That's for you too. And then we'll get the rest of the ingredients. We need ketchup. So now we're going to take the marinade that we made, mix it all together. Dave's just kind of holding it up, and I'm going to pour it down into the package. You have to do this in a pie, a cake pan or a sheet tray, something like that. So we don't want any of that liquid getting out, but if it does drip out, then it's dripping out into the pan. And now you seal that up nice and tight, and all that marinade is inside there. And now we're going to stick it in the oven at 250 degrees for about 3 to 4 hours, more like 3.5 to 4, just like country style ribs. Now we have 2 different style ribs going at the same time. We already made our Dave's famous
broccoli coleslaw this time.
Broccoli slaw. And he's gonna make his famous.
We're gonna make some, they call home style, hobo beans. There's a bunch of different names for them. We're gonna do them while this is cooking.
To go with our winter barbecue. Hobo beans.
We're gonna start by cubing up our bacon into small pieces, and you fry the hamburger and the bacon together in the same frying pan.
Want me to show you how to properly dice that?
Please, Scott. Chef me up. Or do it the chef way. Now, while Scott goes and puts those in and sweats them, we're going to start adding our beans. Okay, we're all cooked down. Got a slotted spoon here. We're going to see if all this fits in there. Drain most of the grease because, see, it's kind of thick right now, so if there's a little grease in it, it won't hurt thin it out. Okay, so I'd say legally I'd say it fits, but not really.
We need a bigger crock pot.
So I usually make it. Okay. We will periodically stir it. Beer time.
You can't be eating off the spoon we're serving with. I teach serve safe. This is gonna get me fired.
Bet they're good.
They've been in now for 4 hours. Oh yeah. Let's try and pour this liquid off of here.
Pour it right into a saucepan so we can thicken this up and make barbecue sauce out of it. Look at them beautiful babies.
I tell you, they're gonna be tender.
Oh, look at it falling off. That's forking tender.
Let's keep this warm and finish the sauce. I'm going to take the ribs. The meat side is down, so we're going to flip these in this pan at the moment. So the meat side's up. Remove this top piece of foil. Now we take this nice thickened sauce.
So you didn't put anything in it to thicken it, just boil it and reduce it a little bit.
Exactly, just simmered it down to get it a nice medium nappe.
Medium what?
Medium nappe.
So you thickened it?
Yes. Just so it just coats. Nice, delicious and saucy. And we'll take this, we have the oven on broil. I'm going to stick it in here and get that nice and caramelized. It's all dark and crisp and bubbly.
And so that means I gotta take the ribs outside.
Yeah, it's too cold for me. So
you staying inside with the warm stuff and I'm going out to do the cold stuff.
It'll be nice.
Got it.
Get some nice color on those on the grill. Get the spare ribs in the oven, the country style ribs going outside.
Okay. All right. Scott sent me out to the cold again. Gotta be careful with all the ice.
Move the snow out of the way. Our ribs are done. Dave's out there freezing his ass off while I'm in here with the nice hot ribs. It's got beautiful caramelization on them. Look at that. I hope he's not cold out there. He better hurry because I'm hungry.
Well, I hope Scott's nice and warm in there. That the sun's going down, temperature's dropping. Probably in the teens now. It's okay, I'll do my part. Hopefully Scott knows it's about time. There he is. Pull these off.
Yeah, we gotta put them on.
Wow.
Put them on a platter.
Hope you were nice and warm inside.
It's beautiful. We gotta hurry up so these don't get cold. Turn these off. We took the barbecue sauce that was in with the country style ribs, and we reduced that down, seasoned it, and now we'll take these ribs. We're just going to completely coat them in that barbecue sauce that they've been cooking in all day. I can tell that Dave had a little issue with the flames because they got a little bit of dark color on them.
That's perfect.
And normally, anytime I do ribs, I would always, in the restaurant or anywhere, I smoke them for at least 2 hours and then either continue cooking them at 225 in the smoker or braise them or something else. But we just wanted to show you an option of how to make ribs that didn't have to be smoked, and you could do it in the middle of the winter as long as you have someone like Dave to go out and grill for you.
Some idiot to go stand in the cold. Look at that.
Wow.
It's falling apart.
A rib at a time, and two. Hard. You can tell you did a good job when they're hard to get out. And then for our country style ribs, we still have what was at the bottom of the pan, these beautiful caramelized onions, which would absolutely be delicious.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna try these.
Favorite one.
We have the, look how tender that is. It's just falling off the bone.
You know, some say, like Scott, that I burnt them. Others would say they are blackened and charge more for them.
That country style rib is really tender too. No.
Them ribs are definitely fork tender. They're forking awesome. Get some of them beans in here.
I like it. What do you call them? The hobo beans. Let me get some more ribs. Look at that. Bones comes right out.
Coleslaw. Nice cold crisp. That barbecue can't be better. Have a roll, buddy.
Nice. And combo.
Cut.
Gonna put the world away for a minute, pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away. Had sweet love, but I lost it. She got too close, so I fought it. Now I'm lost in the world, trying to find me a better way. Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy,